What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Will Lyons from the Lyons Den back with volume 3 of Creative Convos. We going into 2025 with consistency. So we already at episode 3. I have the honor and privilege of being joined by a fellow alongside, a native and a good, friend of mine, a good brother all around, and a New Jersey.com journalist with no further ado, I'll bring up my man, Chris Burch. What's good, bro?
That was a good one, man. I'll do that for myself. Ain't nobody in the room with us, but that was a good one. But yeah, I'm doing good. Well, I'm glad to be here, and I told you already I was excited for it and excited to get on camera with you, be able to chop it up, ask me some questions. I love what you got going on with the creative convos, with everything you got going on, Lions Den, and glad I'm able to be a part of it, man.
No, I definitely appreciate that, man. You've been supportive from the jump, and it's only right. You one of the first people I brought on here, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we're gonna get straight to it, man. In this day and age, of course, anybody, almost anybody can, start a publication or a blog, what have you. But for you to be like a credentialed journalist, like what kind of is your background and like steps that got you to this point?
Well, originally you go to college, you don't know what you want to do. I always liked writing enough. I thought I was decent at it. I never was like, never had bad grades in English class or nothing. So writing was always like an option, and I loved arguing with people about sports. That was always one of my favorite things to do. So sports writing was always one of my first ideas of what I might want to do, like going to college and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Got through that, got to college, and figured out now I want to make a $1 billion. So I'm gonna go into a business major or be an economist or something. Tried that for a little while, and college ain't easy, and math got a lot harder. So I was like, all right, what am I actually good at, and what do I actually enjoy? What won't I hate doing possibly for the rest of my life if I do it professionally? So I'm right back into journalism. Picked up like I never left. Went to Rutgers in New Brunswick. Shout out to Rutgers basketball team, football team doing anything right now. Women's basketball. Shout out Rutgers sports. Period. Doing anything. Went to Rutgers, and my junior year, 2019, had an internship. Senior year, whatever. I did another half a year, and COVID hit. Nobody knows what happened at that point. 2019 fall, I did an internship with NJ.com covering high school sports, all fall sports, football, field hockey, soccer, everything. And after I graduated, a year later or so, early 2021, it was pandemic time, and they needed a retail reporter. I applied for the job and I got it. That was covering retail business, openings, closings, all through the state, the whole 21 counties from Warren County to Atlantic and Ocean, Cape May County. So I was doing that for about 2 years, and then early this year, I got the opportunity to move over to the food team, which I was already writing a lot of restaurant openings, closings, and a little bit of food dabbling in reviews and stuff. So the transition was kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do that, and that's something I've always been a fan. I've always loved food, and it gave me an opportunity to be creative and do something. Being a part of such a good team on the NJ.com food team is some big names: Pete Genovese, Jeremy Schneider, just some big names doing their thing. Lauren Musney. I was just honored to get the chance to join that, and it's been rolling ever since. We've been doing great things. So
Absolutely.
kind of the journey.
Now, I appreciate the breakdown, man. And listen, getting paid to check out restaurants, review the food and everything. It sounds like a dream to me.
Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes you really get tired. When I'm doing a Colombian restaurant roundup and I got to eat 10 Colombian restaurants in 11 days,
Oh,
I can't eat no more.
yeah, yeah. I ain't think about it from that lens.
Sometimes it's a lot, but yeah.
So, hearing somewhat of, kind of like your background with NJ.com and everything, really, it sounds like you had a chance to cover like a variety of subjects. You know, what's some of like your favorite things? I know you're very passionate about sports. We talk sports all the time. I know you're a big music head as well. And obviously right now with the food. So if you had to pick, like, what's your favorite thing to cover?
And food and music are more subjective. Sports has
Mm-hmm.
stats.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's like sometimes I would say sports would probably be my favorite thing because sometimes I can actually feel better when I say I'm right about something if the
Mm-hmm.
stats can back me up.
Yep.
Food is subjective at the end of the day. I know great food and I do my job well. I'm not putting nobody on to anything that's not worthy. If I say it's green light or if I say no, I won't tell you a lie. But food is more subjective. Music is more subjective. It's not always a right or wrong. I could argue till I'm blue in the face, and that's just what it is. And that's kind of why I like being able to write how I do. You write an article and you can read it, you can take it. You want to argue with me, you could do whatever you want to do, but you had to read what I said in full first. So
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say sports would be the my favorite because it's just I don't easier to back your arguments up in sports sometimes. But
Yeah.
food is I don't know. Food stories are people stories, so it's like it's deep. It's always deeper than just what's on a plate with a lot of these restaurants and stuff. So food stories, a lot of that kind of tied in with like travel stuff and just getting to know people, cultural stories. Food is good too. But the inspiration all the time was like Anthony Bourdain or Vice kind of stuff. Action Bronson had a show on Vice, well, still has the show, food show. So all that kind of stuff that was just more outside the box. So you didn't just have to be one thing at a time. We might
Yep.
be able to talk about sports and food and business and whatever's going cannabis, entertainment, whatever else is going on in the world, all in one topic. So to the long-winded answer to that question is sports got the stats, but I argue about anything with anybody. So
Mm-hmm. I do agree with you. I do think sports is easier to kind of prove your point.
yeah,
You got team record. You got all the stats in the world. With food, it's like maybe I like it for whatever reason you don't. You know what I mean? And that's just that. Nothing is nothing. No number. I can show you to prove why this is the best. Taco in South Jersey or whatever. So, um,
literally.
I definitely get that.
And I just got done eating some of the best tacos in South Jersey as well. We're in Camden County area. Los Chulos in Berlin. Um, Whoever's watching this, go check them out. They got a nice Tuesday special. I'm giving them a plug. I promise I'm not a paid sponsor or anything. That's just really one of my favorite taco spots.
I'm gonna have to check them out next time I'm up there.
Yeah, go ahead, give them a try.
Yeah, they could sponsor Creative Convos. We with it.
They need to. I might have to talk to somebody next time I go in there.
All right, man. Next question. So, um, overall, can you kind of speak just in general to the New Jersey food scene? I know that I feel like when the country is like discussed for as far as food, you always hear like big cities, New York. You got to go to Chicago. Somewhere in California, things like that. But I don't do it for a living. But in my opinion, especially the mom and pop scene in Jersey is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you as the expert, man, I'd like to hear your take.
Nah, yeah. Jersey is diverse, like incredibly diverse as a state anyway. So it's like most places where it's so much diversity, you have more food and better food because you just have just more food really. So the more the more it makes than misses if the food's good. And Jersey is from uh soul food to Italian food to cheesesteaks, hoagies, pizza, whatever kind of food, Asian sushi, Caribbean kind of Jamaican jerk or seafood, whatever you want to. Jersey has it.
Mm-hmm.
Regionally, I always argue with people. I love the South because I can get some of the best soul food and a few other good things, but I really haven't had, I don't know, a good bagel in Atlanta. I haven't had, I don't know, I'm not eating hot dogs in certain parts of the world just because I'm so used to what we have in Jersey, whether it's again Asian food, Italian food. I don't know how good the pizza is in Florida. I've had pizza in Florida, it's not been good, and I've also had it from chains. So it's just what it is. It's everything kind of has its place. And Jersey being such a melting pot, such an outlet from New York and Philadelphia, big cities, of just having so many people. We lucked up. And mom and pop wise, some of the best small spots in the world, whether it's corner delis in Jersey City, bagel spots or something in Teaneck, or just a hole in the wall taco spots in Berlin and Camden County or something. We got a lot of good food, period. And I'm to be such a small state, the New Jersey food scene is gigantic. It's not one thing you're known for in Jersey. You don't go to Jersey just for a slice of pizza or just for a hoagie or just for a cheesesteak, but you can actually get some of the best of most items you need in Jersey. So the Jersey food scene is a gift to be working it, because I would be, I don't know if I live, no shade, but I don't know how diverse the food in Topeka, Kansas is or something. If I was covering Idaho's food scene, I don't know how many potatoes I get to eat every year. But thank goodness we in Jersey. I always tell people, wherever I have to live in the world, if I can't be in the Northeast near New Jersey, New York, something like that, I would maybe do the West Coast, but it gets sticky. I can't get a good bagel everywhere else. So, but yeah, Jersey definitely, we can go toe to toe with any state food wise.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned like bagels too, like not specifically for the bagels, but it's like a conversation my wife and I had specifically, like, so being down here, like there's a few places you can get like a decent like cheesesteak, maybe like a so-so hoagie, but like the thing we notice and the big difference is we only know of like one bakery here, right? And like the whole, and I've been here for 10 years. Like compared to back home, where there's bakeries all over the place, and a lot of these sandwich places, if they don't have bread being baked in there, they have it being like delivered fresh every morning, and little things like that, like, really can make or break, your experience. And I don't think most people that's not from where we're from really understand that.
You don't. You're as simple as just a bacon, egg, and cheese on a decent bagel that's not sandy or falling apart or something like that. Just something that simple. So yeah, people don't understand how much we have here in Jersey. I didn't even know it was a scarcity of bakeries in Virginia. What part of Virginia you in?
Bro, I'm in the Hampton Roads area, so like, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, all of that. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll make sure I don't need a bagel next time I go out that way.
Yeah, for sure. And like the way you talked about the food scene, in Jersey, I feel like that kind of synopsis and lens of looking at it could be applied to the sports scene as well. We're really small, but at every level you look, mid, like low level, like pee-wee sports, high school sports, to colleges, and and having producing pros, to be such a small state. Every time you look, there's somebody else from New Jersey, and I'm kind of jumping around, but this goes into the next question I have for you, man. Like, matter of fact, why don't you let the people see your shirt and then we can get into it.
Okay, you already saw what it was. I think I got the blur on it, but
no, it's good. It's good now. It blurred, but then Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. Yes, sir.
Dylan Harper, the second coming at Rutgers, the second Harper, and then his good friend from down south coming to bless us with his talents for a year or however long it may be. I'm grateful.
Well, first of all, them Rutgers NIL bags must be getting crazy, because the fact that y'all was able to pull 2 lottery picks, like, listen, I thought Dylan was a good possibility, but I didn't know Ace was serious, until he committed.
Ace went first. I guess
exactly.
To get Dylan, he wanted to play with Dylan supposedly so much. I don't know what numbers they might throw at him. And it's the thing of some of them kids are just loyal. I know Pike is a great coach. Pike at Rutgers is a great recruiter. Some of his assistants, Coach Smoke Williamson, I believe his last name is. He's a good recruiter guy out of the Midwest. We're getting a lot of guys out of Detroit and Chicago, a lot of tough guys. Jeremiah Williams, Lathan Somerville, a lot of them guys come from out that way. The A-Cuff. I want to call him the one that's committed to what's the one that's committed to Arkansas's name?
Yeah, Darius Acuff.
Darius, his older cousin Tyson,
Okay.
is
Yep.
on Rutgers now. A lot of guys, Jordan Durkak transferred in from Merrimack, the Martini from Princeton. A lot of guys in there helping out, and Jamichael Davis, one of our point guards, was high school teammates and good friends with Ace. And I think him going to Rutgers, I think it was a 3-star, 4-star cusp. And I think him going to Rutgers definitely swayed Ace as well a little bit. So might just be the familiarity. Felt like home, but I don't know what got him up there. Could have been the money as well. But they got him there now. So
Listen, money doesn't hurt, but I will say as well, and listen, you probably know better than anybody, but if you've never, for the listeners, if you've never been up there, to see what Rutgers, New Brunswick is like no BS, it's a city to itself, and if you party up there, listen, you probably get somebody to commit off that alone.
Listen, from New Brunswick, it's 4 campuses at Rutgers, New Brunswick, spanning New Brunswick and Piscataway. You got Cook Douglas, College Ave, Bush where they play football, Livy where they play basketball, and just going through those is so much. It's always so much going on. Probably got 30, upwards of 40,000 students on campus at a time during the semesters and stuff. It's a great time, and nighttime is only better. It's always fun, always something going on. Literally a city in itself. Like it was such a weird adjustment being from Lawnside, where I'm from, small town in New Jersey, and going to not a big city, but New Brunswick. That area is a city of its own. It kind of works by itself. It's kind of cool. So yeah, whole lot to do, and a whole lot to do at night for sure. And good food in New Brunswick. A lot of good food in New Brunswick.
Listen, man, like you were right, man. Compared to Lawnside, bro, it's a big area, and it's a whole lot of people. Listen, I'll like jokingly, I don't know if Lawnside has had 40,000 residents in the history of the town. Like
if so, it was some decades. It was some decades.
That's probably the total. That's probably the total number of residents since the town was like brought into existence, like to now, like
yeah, big difference there. And I was just talking about something. I feel like I didn't even answer the whole question.
Oh, just what's your excitement, man, around the program right now with everything they got going on?
Oh, Rutgers. We was also talking about the diversity of the whole state. I'll get to that after. But Rutgers, period. Basketball, obviously men's basketball. We got 2 5-stars that's playing good. The rest of the team, I thought they would be helping out a little bit more already. It seems like they might be catching a stride. They definitely need help. Those kids could put up 40 a night if you needed them to, but they won't win as many meaningful games as they can if the supporting cast doesn't help out. But a lot of guys coming along, and a lot of pieces that excited me when Ace and Dylan committed up. The other guys, the 4-stars we were getting that I know might be able to stay around and really help the program long time. Lathan Somerville, I've been talking about that kid since he committed. He was my favorite commit in that class. A big body, quick on his feet, kind of can move and got the toughness and has the basketball IQ already. So I'm excited to see him for a little while. Basketball, we got a great coach, and I think we're in good hands. If we don't put a national championship banner up in the rafters this year, I won't be upset as long as we compete hard and we just keep it going. 1 year is cool, but as long as we can keep these guys rolling in, some of the recruits we got coming in, Chris Nooli, Lino Mark, both out of California. One's at Notre Dame, one's at Sierra Canyon. 2 4-star guys. We getting guys from California now. We over recruiting over our new Big Ten rivals, UCLA and USC, and for guys out of Cali. So just stuff like that, being able to compete on a national level. Because man, I got to Rutgers when we were a punching bag in every sport possible. Just getting just an embarrassment. The only bright spot was Corey Sanders, Rutgers legend Corey Sanders, and then Geo Baker, Ron Harper, and them started to get the basketball together. But everything at Rutgers is looking on the up and up. Women's basketball, they're not getting as many wins as they could be, but a lot of young talent, a lot of promising. You got 5-star Keomi McMillan, viral right now for Park Sham God, Kyrie kind of Rucker
Mm-hmm.
Park, Lawnside Park kind of move she pulled off that everybody's seeing. If you haven't seen it, if you could throw the clip right here or something, go ahead.
Man, Kiyomi is amazing, bro.
Dog, it's ridiculous. She's
Amazing.
incredibly talented, super talented. I'm so happy she brought her talents to New Brunswick, Piscataway as well. Great coach over there. Good tradition, Rutgers women's basketball. Coach Stringer ain't with us no more, but everything Coach Washington has taken over and doing a good job. A lot of good pieces there. Destiny Adams is a Big Ten star,
Most improved player in the country.
playing amazing. Destiny Adams is an amazing player. Bunch of help around her. Bunch of good girls. Bates. We got a lot of players. Everything's looking good. And basketball is good, but football, when football is good, it's always better in New Brunswick. And football, not even being good, but just being okay from where we came to just consecutive bowl games. It's weird that I can say a 7-5 season was almost disappointing. We had a game they lost, a bad blunder at the end, should have been 8-4, losing to Illinois, a ranked team that they outplayed. So would have finished the season off 8-4, didn't finish the season off 7-5. Got a bowl game in Arizona the day after Christmas playing K-State. So we'll see how that goes. But just period, Rutgers sports on the up and up. Recruiting, they seem like they're throwing more money into or more investing more into the programs, and it's working out for us because New Jersey is a hotbed. You can recruit in New Jersey alone and put together some star talents, as you already alluded to. We got so much talent in Jersey. Basketball, football, field hockey, soccer, track. Like Jersey is just wrestling. So Jersey is a melting pot. So much diversity. So and that bleeds into food, music, art, all that kind of stuff, and sports. Because that's really what we have. A bunch of basketball courts and soccer fields and football fields all around. And we make some pretty big talent. And you can attest to that. You had some great Jersey talent come through your favorite school, Kentucky, that basketball program. Some real Jersey goats come through there and put a banner up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Shout out to MKG, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, like definitely. I feel like we could talk, just about New Jersey all day, man. I feel like people that's from other places, they don't necessarily understand it, but it's like one of those things. And if you go there, you'll get it.
Yeah, from every, just like you said, from every, at all aspects, the food, the culture. It's a little state, but we can go to two of the biggest cities in the world and in the country and the world, in Philadelphia and New York. We're not far from DC.
Mm-hmm.
We're not far from this. It's a bunch of different. You can get to Connecticut and everything. We have a beach. We have the shoreline. Like we actually can go to the beach. Everybody doesn't get that. So it's interesting. We even got mountains in New Jersey. A lot of people from down in South Jersey don't know that. But up north, some of them areas is just mountainy and just is rough. But yeah, a whole lot coming out. The high school talent is always phenomenal. I could go on about that. I wish we just could talk about some high school basketball the whole time. A few names I just thought there that I have to say. The kid from Camden High, Joe Samuel, one of the smoothest games in high school basketball I've probably seen in a while. Like the kid just gets to a spot. He looked like he'd been here before. Like
Super bucket. He played like a vet.
He looks like a vet, and it's a young kid, a sophomore up in Plainfield. Gordon, Micah Gordon, I think his name is. That kid is different, and then he grew over the summer. He was good last year, and I think he comes from a line of just hoopers out of Plainfield. I've just seen pictures and stuff, little stories about it. I think his dad was a big Plainfield basketball star and stuff. So that kid is good, and that kid, if you don't got tape on him or haven't seen him yet, just keep an eye on him because you will see him very soon.
Okay. Now, listen, I want you to get your whole list together, man. I'm going to circle back and bring you on Generations of the Game where we could talk sports the whole time.
We can. We definitely can, for sure.
Now, my last sports question for you, listen, one of the things, going back to the beginning where you said you would debate anybody with anything, but especially sports. You and I know, all jokes and being a hater online aside, you know what I'm saying? You and I have had some real debates over Melo.
What
You
we
know
about
what
to say
I'm saying?
about Carmelo Anthony?
No, listen.
I
No
knew
hate,
this was
no hate,
coming. I knew this was
no
coming.
hate at all. But I'm just saying, like we've talked about Carmelo, a lot.
Yeah.
So I couldn't wait to get your thoughts on Cayenne, following in his footsteps and going to Cuse, man.
Yo, I think that's beautiful from like sports aside, like from a family standpoint of a successful black man raising his black son to even have the opportunity to go to college. That in itself is an accomplishment. To go to college for free, that's
Yep.
another accomplishment off of a skill that I may have helped you craft or whatever. And to be able to go to my alma mater and play, same court as play in the Carmel, train in the Carmelo K. Anthony Center in Syracuse and all that kind of stuff. Walk uphill to every class. I swear everything is at Syracuse is up a hill. It makes no sense, but but to be able to be there in the cold and everything, and to be able to follow his dad's footsteps, but also carve his own path. You don't hear too many people trying to say, "Oh, Cayenne's doing this after his dad," or he's only doing it because of his dad. Blah blah blah. This is all earned. He
Yeah.
earned it, and I'm excited to see him go there. And I think they got a good program. I think they got a good shot. Autry's there. He's recruiting some dogs, and they got some kids that's coming to play. So I think they all right.
No, I agree. I think it was dope. And one of the things that I gotta give credit to Melo for as a father is like I feel like you can just tell that he didn't force anything. It's like if you want to hoop, son, if you want me to help you, I'll help you as much as you want.
Yeah,
If you want to take it serious. Whereas, we've seen it, man, like even locally where it's like the parent is more into it and they forcing the kid, and that's the ones that can't wait to get away from the sport.
yeah. You couldn't say it. Because they had a bunch of times we didn't seen it. The ones that just don't even, you kind of push a kid, and especially when you are a pro athlete or even just a successful athlete at another level, college, high school, even sometimes, you want your kid to be as good as you. I'm guessing I don't have a kid that's an athlete. I don't have a kid at all, but I'm figuring you want your kid to be as good, if not better than you. So a lot of people do push, and that could be too much. But we saw it with Carmelo. Obviously,
Mhm.
we don't live in a house. We don't know what was going on, but it wasn't. And from shows that they had online and everything, what we did see, it wasn't really a push until Kion really wanted to start going a little harder at basketball. It seemed like right
Mhm.
before high schoolish, and you would see him start working out with Melo, Chris Burch, blah blah blah, and he started to take it serious. And then you could start to see shades of Melo get into his game when they was posting eighth grade AAU or whatever, ninth grade clips, little
Mhm.
stuff, and now you could see it. And a completely different player, a guard, obviously lets the game come to him a little bit, and his shooter, great shooter. But some of the moves he makes and stuff, you could just see the Melo and Melo taught him that. Like, so it's good to see. And obviously, Melo being my favorite player ever, I'm glad I could at least watch his son be a star and hopefully go to the league and be a star too.
No, absolutely. And I tell you what, man, like, I feel like now, you of course you're a little younger than me, but you starting to hit that point where it's like, damn, I'm old. Like, how many players that I've seen careers start and end, kid is in the league now. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's got a son or a daughter now.
Yo, it's guys that when I'll be 27 in January. So it's guys that got drafted that I'll like hear their name now on certain teams and be like, oh, he's still around. Like, and they got drafted when he was
Mm-hmm.
20 or 19 or something, but that was 7, 8 years ago.
Yep.
Certain guy, you hear their name, oh, he's still around. Like, yeah, I mean, he's probably old. Like, no, he's 27. Like, like, man. So yeah, it's interesting to see. You're seeing a whole lot more juniors in sports across sports. Period. Football, basketball, track, and soccer. Whether it's Trinity Rodman in soccer or obviously Kion, Bronny James, Pippen Jr., all the juniors you can
Oh,
think of. Marvin Harrison Jr. All the juniors.
everybody got a
Awesome.
kid.
Yeah. And it's just
Anthony Carter got a son in the league. Like,
it's crazy. It's really crazy.
you know,
It's nuts. The dudes that I watch, dudes that I played with on the video games as a kid or whatever, I could play the video game and they kids is on it now. It's wild to see.
yeah, and we got even more on the way, man.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas got like 3 kids, you know, between his son and his daughters. Like, you know, like
You got the Boozers, you got
right.
they on the way.
The Richardsons, like, you know. All right, man.
I saw Marcus Spears had a son that's a hooper.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy. But bonus and final question, man, you know, going back to you know, your roots and your passion as a writer, but also as, you know, a big music head. It was a, you know, a little social media discourse I had seen, man. Somebody was talking about why they feel like, you know, at large the quality of rap isn't what it was. And you know, my personal opinion is that it's not being pushed the same, you know, reading, writing, you know, everything people want. If they can't listen to it or watch it, they have no interest in it whatsoever, you know. So I wanted to get your thoughts on, you know, do you think that is part of the reason or a big reason for, you know, obviously not all rap, but like a good percentage of what's out there now?
Yeah, it's not in I could write a book about this, and I'll never. I don't want to say rap is struggling or anything like that. Obviously, I love rap, grew up on it, and we got a lot of talent, even if it's not being seen or publicized as much as some of the other stuff. But just like you said, I think you nailed it on the head when you just said the attention span point. I think it's kind of we shifted attention spans. Like people don't want to listen to songs that's even 3 minutes long nowadays. It's crazy. Like a song's longer than 2 minutes. I know people that's like turn it off or don't want to listen to it at all. It's a whole lot. And along with the reading, writing, this stuff is trendy. A lot of artists, obviously, some people want to pay their bills or have to pay their bills. You can do whatever you want with your art. So some people are kind of making music to fit into those or to be made for the TikToks or the social media, just snippet kind of music and stuff. A lot of the stuff is kind of hurting because some of it isn't, it's no substance behind it. No substance, the attention span stuff. We go on and on about subject matter. I saw a tweet that was funny and somebody said rap is in a bad space or rappers don't watch enough movies. And truly, I was like, damn, we need more rappers that watch movies or watch sport, play a video game, something. Give me an Action Bronson line or something if you can, like, just a little more creativity. And overall, I may be completely wrong, but I think a lot of rappers just don't love music.
Yeah.
As much as the past rappers we saw really care about the art form of music. Even if it was just rap, but we saw a lot of rappers of the past would know to get samples from stuff would have to be in the other types of music and stuff and really love the art of music, a beat, the melody, the lyrics, with the hook, subject matter, how I want to place this in my album, how I want to sequence my album, how I want to make an album and not just release singles or, you know, the small projects, mixtape type of projects or whatever. And how I want to make it a body of work. People cared a lot more about the full record. So I think it's just a lack of. And some people do care, but some people just want their money and they know what sells. They know who's buying it, and it's not the same exact demographic that it used to be that's buying the music or getting the streaming numbers up. So it's a little different. A lot of the times it's shifting. A lot of things are blending, cultures are blending. So you got people that weren't always a rap and hip hop culture that are into it a lot more now, contributing to it even becoming famous off of doing it off of the culture and stuff, profiting, whether it be some who are even helping, but in ways. But yeah, it's a lot. It's kind of I think it's the attention span and the love is just missing. They lacking the love, man. That's people ain't loving music enough. I know a lot of dudes that rap and they don't listen to nothing other than like one type of rap, even like it's a certain style of rap. I'm like, bro, you gotta listen to the R&B song or something sooner or later. Just to, do you want a some other stuff to sample in your beats or something? So I don't know. I've had this conversation with plenty of people, and I just think the love is lost, man. You gotta get back to loving music.
No, 100%, man. You know, looking back to a lot of like now vintage acts and everything, like you find out they play like at least one, if not multiple instruments. You know, they can read music, you know, or just growing up in like music families. Like I'll give you one, you know, he's not the biggest artist, but you know, first of all, finding out that Sir, you know, and
Sir, I
D
knew you was
Smoke,
about to say, sir.
you know, Sir and D Smoke is brothers, you know, their whole family got musical history and everything. You know, like that, something like that is dope. And you could see it or hear it in the quality of both of their music.
Completely, and you understand that they have an appreciation for music, appreciation for Sir being a voice, D Smoke being a lyricist, appreciation for lyrics, vocals, tone, just the flow, all their music, all that kind of stuff. And coming from a family of musicians, I know they said their mom was a big musician, and dad might have been too. Both were musicians, teachers, and whatnot. That's big, and that may have helped them be able to navigate through the music industry. We didn't see both of them at their highest until they were a little late, a little older. I
Yeah.
think that's another big thing. You got a lot of people nowadays that's popping off and don't have that guidance of a parent that might know how the music industry works or whatever. You know, these kids are blowing up at 17, 18, 19 years old and giving them a lot of money, a lot of influence and stuff. And some of them don't get to grow
Yeah.
that much in music, in life, period, to have them experiences to keep making good music. So that's a big thing. And some of the musical practices of how quickly some of these kids get famous, without a real backing, how some of these kids can just make a hot TikTok song, get taken out the wherever their situation might be and put on a pedestal immediately just to really have no stable backing. So when that one or two songs fades out, they're kind of just in a
Yeah.
bad spot. That's not being talked enough either. Almost a bit of a predatory practice from some of the labels, just getting these kids a bunch of money that they don't even know are loans they gotta repay and kind of stuff, and messing them up financially. You know, publishing and ownership stuff. A lot of that. It's a lot. We can talk about the music industry forever. It's in a rough spot overall, and we are getting some good music still. Don't get it messed up. A lot of great artists, and a lot of them are getting out, but just overall, we are in a weird spot.
No, I agree 1000%, man. And you know, again, like, you know, phenomenal you know, breakdown, really in depth. I can tell you, you know, you put a lot of thought into you know, really everything that's going on, you know, with the music industry right now.
Yeah, got to,
Um,
man, got to.
So I do want to thank you for your time, man. The last thing I want to do is just give you the opportunity, man. You know, plug your stuff, where people can find you. You know what you know, and possibly what's next for Chris Burch.
Well, first off, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Swish Birch, SWISH, Swish, BURCH, on Instagram, Twitter, Chris Burch on LinkedIn. You can add me, and you can go ahead and type in NJ.com, or just go ahead and Google NJ.com Birch and read all my articles on there. Every few days a week, I'm getting out culture stuff, pop trending stuff, whatever popular culture stuff, and then every so often I'm getting my food stuff out, and those are the big hitters and a lot of the ones you want to really get into. So I'd appreciate anybody that wants to learn about the NJ food scene or needs a heads up or a tip or whatever. Go ahead and get active with me. Talk to me, reach out for sure, and let me know. And coming up, you got more of my stuff for NJ.com. But 2025, I think I'm finally ready to get a little deeper into my creator bag. I've dabbled in this food stuff for a while. Got the sports stuff, and uh, I'm a traveler of some sort. I like to travel as much as I can. So content wise, I think I'm gonna get a little bit more together. We're getting some videos out. Got some of my own creative writing that I've been doing, script writing, screenwriting and a few ideas I got for whether it's little skits or a sitcom. We got some stuff going on, some documentaries with some friends that I want to get rolling. Some kind of edgy, kind of deep stuff that we might get into. Some of that Vice land kind of influence of let's get on the ground and find out what's going on in some of these places. So some stuff to look out for. But for now, lock in with me, follow me, talk to me, reach out, and please go eat something that I say is good. I'll say that much.
Or definitely tap in with, Chris, very knowledgeable, young professional, all around good brother, and, I can speak for myself and the Lions Den, man. We look forward to, all your future endeavors and supporting you, however we can, man.
Appreciate that, Will. Appreciate that. And I'll continue to support the Lions Den. Love what y'all got going on. That's big. I love everybody that's really, I love everybody that takes the time in the media space, because people don't understand how much time this takes up. You
Absolutely.
You're on this call for 40 minutes at the evening, in the nighttime. You could be asleep right now. I know you're a dad. You could be doing stuff with your kids, whatever. To take this time and to be putting this together, building your own page, your own brand, and what you got going on, that's big. And the writing stuff you get out, all that kind of stuff in a timely manner. Seeing you post it, I know what's going on, because I know how my posts work, from going to have to go to an editor here and back and forth, whatever, and getting scheduled out and whatnot. And the stuff that you guys get out is good. You and your wife, I've read both of y'all stuff, plenty of your stuff, and yeah, y'all doing a great job. So continue to do a great job.
That means a lot coming from you, good brother. And I want to thank you again, man, for taking the time. And the Lions Den and Generations of the Game will definitely be tapping in with you in 2025, brother.
For sure. We gotta tap in. We gotta tap in Generations of the Game, because I got some questions I want to ask you. Oh, yeah. So we'll have that ready.
We're gonna set that up real soon.
How didn't Calipari get the other twin, the one that's at Illinois? I don't know how that happened. I was wondering how that didn't happen. But.
Man, that's crazy, man. Listen, if he had both, man, good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, appreciate it, man. It was good talking to you. I'm glad to be on here, and I can't wait till next time.
Oh yeah, yes sir, brother. I'm definitely gonna get with you, man.
Bet.
Peace.
All right, well, be.